Hi, folks. I'm Bob Schrupp, physical therapist.
Brad Heineck, physical
One of the
therapist.
most famous physical therapists on the internet.
In our opinion, of course, Bob.
Today we have some surprising facts about not getting enough sleep. It's a lot worse than you think. It's bad when you don't get enough sleep, and we're going to go through a lot of the things that happen when you don't.
Right. Well, I think from a therapist point of view, if your patient is not getting good sleep, they are not progressing well, and sometimes going the other direction.
Exactly. It's one of the first. I don't know if you do ask this, but I ask this question all the time: are you getting enough sleep? Are you getting enough to eat? And are you getting enough sleep?
Right. How's your appetite?
Yep.
And are you sleeping well?
Yep.
Two biggies.
Yeah, and that's the problem with the hospital. A lot of times you can't sleep well in the hospital. It's the worst place to get sleep. So. By the way, if you're new to our channel, please take a second to subscribe to us. We provide videos on how to stay healthy, fit, pain-free, and we upload every day. You might want to hit the little bell there, too, because you'll get first notification and every time we put up a video.
Oh, wow.
There's a little bell you
bonus.
Yeah, and if I have a chance, go to Bob and Brad. That's us on Facebook. And like us, because if you like us, we're going to send you some positive vibes, and you can become one of our good vibers.
There you go.
All right, so let's talk about sleep deprivation. For some, it's kind of a badge of honor. Do you know these people that are like, I get hardly any sleep because, I work so hard. And,
I sleep 4 hours a night, and that's a good night.
Yeah, and that's not a good thing. I mean, it's not a good thing to brag about. It's not a good thing to set your life up that way because you are going to probably be reducing your lifespan by doing this.
Right.
So there is like 85 sleep disorders, so it's up to 1/3 of Americans are having trouble with sleep.
Sure.
Do you ever have trouble with that, Brad?
Yeah, occasionally, and it varies, and I can tell you, if I'm not getting enough exercise, if I'm not on the right bed, things, can really throw off my sleep pattern, and my wife says I'm ornery then.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I am one that if you wanted me to like spill the beans and, torture me, all you have to do is say, you're only going to get a 20-minute nap today instead of a 30-minute nap.
Sure.
What do you want to know? I'll tell you everything you want to know. So, all right, we'll start off. We're going to mention 2 things that you can try to help your sleep. And the first one we're going to talk about is the Sleepovation mattress here.
Right.
Brad and I endorsed just one mattress, and that's this one. The reason is we've been approached by a lot of mattress companies, and this is the first one that made sense to us.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the reasons is because it's like a cushion that, do we have that on? We don't, I think, right now. But,
no.
It's like a cushion that we've used for years for distributing pressure evenly.
On wheelchairs.
On wheelchairs.
So that people are comfortable in the chair, they're in a chair all day long. And it's the same concept they use with the Sleepovation in it.
Yeah, they have individual mattresses that are basically individual cells, and it just spreads the pressure out, like on your shoulders, back, neck, hips. So you got to tell the story, Brad.
700 of those.
Yeah, but you got to tell what happened to you this weekend.
Well, yeah. Just this last weekend, I've been using my Sleepovation mattress for Bob. You got a wrinkle in there.
Oh, God.
He's not doing it. There you go.
So
anyways, on a new, different bed, 4 nights, and I slept terrible every night. My shoulders.
You had a campsite, right?
Yeah, it was a cabin.
Cabin,
it was a nice cabin. Looked like a reasonably nice bed, but let me tell you, I got 4 nights of bad sleep. I came home the first night, I went to bed, and I slept for 7 hours straight. I had to get up because I had to go to work.
And for you, it's your shoulder quite often, right?
Well, yeah, shoulder and or back, but I really noticed it
on the shoulder.
On the shoulders. Talk about the point of the shoulder. I can tell you right there, it was bothering me.
Sure.
So, anyways,
all right,
we love it.
I mean, yeah, we like it, and if you use our code below, you'll get $300 off. If you use the famous PT code, we'll have that link below.
Sure.
All right, let's get to work here. The first thing, they found, increased mortality rate for people who get less than 6 or 7 hours of sleep at night. So, and I know that varies with people because some people can get by with less and some people need much more.
Sure.
I remember this one, he used to be the first guy that did the Tonight Show. He needed 12 hours of sleep. And
wow.
Yeah, but he was very productive on the 12 hours he was awake.
Sure.
But he needed 12 hours of sleep a night.
Holy cow.
And I remember Brian Gumbel, he only needed 5 or 6 according to him. But
sure. Big Brian.
Yeah.
I never heard of him.
You haven't really?
No.
Oh. All right. Next one.
Catch up after the video.
Reduced sleep causes greater mortality risks than it's worse than smoking, high blood pressure, and heart disease. It's one of those things again. We were talking about smoking is really bad, but it's amazing that if you're reduced sleep, it's actually worse than smoking.
Well,
This is according to studies. It's associated. A lack of sleep is associated with numerous long-term medical illnesses, and I'm gonna list these off.
Okay.
And a lot of these are to do with sleep apnea. If you have sleep apnea, you have an increased risk for all these. And
so sleep apnea, you're unable to breathe properly,
yeah,
and
you're not getting enough air.
Right.
And that's what we're going to show at you at the end. Something you can try for that.
Sure.
A lot of them have the CPAP machines, but we're talking about a actual something that can help you maybe cure it to some extent.
Right, without hooking yourself up the machine, at night.
Yeah. So again, obstructive sleep apnea, 20 million people have it, but the diseases that or illnesses that you're at increased risk: high blood pressure, heart attack, heart failure, stroke. All those you're at increased risk if you aren't sleeping well, if you have sleep apnea.
So a lot of circulation issues that are all related to your blood circulation in one way or another.
You're right, Brad. Yeah, you pointed out. That's very good. The next one is not going to be a surprise to anybody, but if you're not getting enough sleep, the number of increased motor vehicle accidents.
Right.
I mean,
falling asleep behind the wheel, drowsiness. Yeah. That kind of thing.
I mean, if you got moderate to severe sleep apnea, you perform as poor as a drunk driver. You're 15 times more likely to have an accident.
Oh, really?
So, I mean, that's not, if you don't get to sleep and you have to drive every day.
Yeah.
Every day you're going to bed, you're going to work drunk, basically. So,
yeah.
So, number F. That's not a number, is it? Letter F. Obesity. So experts are saying if you want to lose weight, you should consider getting more sleep. Interestingly,
Sure.
isn't it? I know there's a mechanism behind that. I don't remember all the reasoning behind that, but depression, higher incidence of depression in people that don't get sleep.
Sure.
Attention deficit disorder, worse in people who don't get sleep. Mental impairment. Oh my God. Well, we don't need any of that, do we, Brad?
Yeah.
We're already struggling.
Yeah, we need a lot of sleep then.
And just a poor quality of life.
Right.
So I mean, it all comes together here. And we're trying to say to you, I mean, it really pays for you to be protective about your sleep.
I've got a friend from noon to 12:30. You do not contact him. That's nap time. He sleeps in the day. He says the rest of his day is so much more productive if he gets his nap in. And
if you want to, I'll give you even a better example. These were the Mayo brothers, and I went to the Mayo Clinic, and we learned all about their history. One of the Mayo brothers, I used to work at one of the houses as a waiter when I was going to school, and he said one of the Mayo brothers, I think it was Charlie, he would actually take a nap every day. He made the Queen of England wait for him because he went to go take his nap.
Where was she?
She was visiting.
Oh, she was
visiting
at the hospital?
Yeah, she was visiting, and he said, I'm taking my nap. He didn't care what.
Right. Well, he's very clear. He needs it.
I don't know if it was the Queen. It was somebody really important. It might have been the President of the United States, too. It was somebody really, really important.
Yeah.
So I don't want to get my history wrong here. So, all right. So if you have sleep apnea, one thing you can try, which they have found has worked out pretty well, and we've mentioned this in another. Is this one yours, Brad? Yeah.
Yep.
It's called the breather. And basically what you're doing is you're going to help strengthen the muscles of that you inspire when you take air in and when you also expire, your breathing muscles.
Right. It's just like any other muscle. If you exercise it, it'll become stronger.
It's like weightlifting.
Right.
So for the lungs.
That's what this was developed for, was to strengthen your breathing muscles.
Developed by a respiratory therapist. She had like 38 years of experience. And it works on, like I said, so like inhaling, it has 6 different levels that you can set. It's got a little dial on there.
So that's the resistance of what it takes to breathe
pull
in.
So
you
number 6 is going to be the hardest.
Yep.
And they got 5 for blowing out.
Sure.
So we're not going to go into great detail on this. If you go to their website, they have videos on this, on how to use it.
Right.
And they'll tell you when to use it, how often to use it.
Right.
I just wanted to introduce it to you as an option. Yep. Right there, Brad. And remember, you got to do diaphragmatic breathing. You got to have good posture. All those things.
Yep.
So, but you just do it twice a day. So it's not time consuming, but it can be very effective and really improve your quality of life.
And
So-
they don't cost much.
No, they don't. And actually, if you use the link below, we'll get you some money off. I don't even remember what it is anymore. We'll eventually remember.
Right, it's only around the $30 range. It's,
Right.
It's
So-
very reasonable.
All right, thanks everybody for watching. And remember, Brad and I can fix just about anything.
Except for
A broken heart. But we're working on it.
You better believe it. And we won't stop.